Hey everyone! Today I have some exciting new scrapbooking supplies to show you that were sent to me by Your Creative Studio. Your Creative Studio do vintage themed monthly subscription boxes, and this is the box that they sent out for September. I'm planning to unwrap these goodies and use them to set up a memories spread in my bullet journal. I'll be sharing the steps that I take for scrapbooking in my journal, so stick around if you're interested in seeing that. But first, grab a cup of tea and enjoy the music and some ASMR while I unbox the supplies. It's actually really helpful getting a subscription box for vintage supplies like this, because it would be really hard to source all of these items individually. It's great that you can get a big selection in a box like this, because for scrapbooking spreads you tend to use quite a few different types of paper and stamps and washi tapes and stickers and all sorts, so it's nice to have all of these options. Now let's see how we can use some of these supplies in a bullet journal spread. I thought it'd be nice to dedicate a couple of pages in my journal to summer memories. The first thing I did was look through all the photos that I took over summer. We had a festival, some camping trips, walks with family and friends, and a canal boat trip that we did, so I chose a selection of photos from these events to print. Next, I picked some of the larger pieces of vintage paper to put down as the first layer. This forms the foundation. When choosing which one to put down, think about how much you want to write or draw on top of the layers. If you plan to write a lot, then go for something more plain. I won't be writing lots, so I chose a paper with some script on it already as my first layer. Since this spread is dedicated to summer, I thought it'd be fitting to choose some summery flowers to go on the top of the page. Over on the next side, I chose a piece of paper with a berry plant on it. I like the shape of the paper, and the green tones work well with the other ones I've chosen for this spread. Next up, I added this envelope. I chose it because it's white, so it's not as busy as the other pages that I chose, and it's an opportunity to add a different texture to the page as well. I added a small envelope for travel vibes, and if you only stick down the flap, you can lift the envelope and use the pocket for storage of any extra photos or even a message or some writing. I thought the different coloured pieces of paper could be the background for the photos that I'm going to stick on, so I picked out a few of those to layer with. At this stage, I still haven't stuck anything down. I always like to experiment during this phase, move things around and get a feel for how they look and gather more ideas. Before sticking anything down, I also want to see how my photos look on the page and think about roughly where I want to put them. So I cut the printed photographs out to have a play around with those as well. I placed the photos roughly where I would want them, and I wanted to keep a little bit of space around them so I can draw something simple around them with a black pen, just to make them pop a bit more and to bring the spread together. It's actually really nice looking at all of the photos as I cut them up. It gets you to reflect on the experiences you had. And I guess that's the whole point of scrapbooking, to give you the opportunity to turn moments into memories that you can relive every time you look at the page and experience the related emotions all over again. I think creating memory pages like this really helps deepen your feelings of gratitude because they remind you that time passes by so fast. It encourages you to be present and enjoy the moments in your life and be thankful for them in the moment and afterwards. When laying out your scrapbook pages, take the time to shuffle things around until you're happy with them. But also remember that you can't go too wrong, so just enjoy the process as well. The main thing is that you have enough space to put the photos in that you want to put in, and space for anything you want to write in around them. When sticking down your photos and scrapbooking supplies, things might move around. I wasn't too precious about sticking them down in the exact same position that they were in before. I had an idea of where they will go based on where I laid them out during the first phase, but sometimes things move around while you're sticking and you find new homes for your materials, homes that might work out better or just as good as where you planned to put them. If you do want it to look exactly the same as how you laid it out originally, then you can take a photo of the spreads, so when you move things around to stick them down, you can refer to the photo if you forget where things go. I did that, but in the end I didn't look at the photo because I was happy to embrace the new ideas that came as I was sticking things down. Scrapbooking is a great hobby to take up for unwinding in the evenings, to clear your mind after a long day and put you in a positive mindset. I want to do much more of this in my journal, or maybe even create a dedicated scrapbooking journal. I put some extra photos in the envelope. You could even label them with the date and the place like you would with old printed photographs. I added the oil lamp stamp to the page to add vintage vibes. I really want to use the typewriter stamp too, but I think that will need to be for another spread because this one is pretty full already. I decided to use a white acrylograph paint pen to draw an outline of the people in some of the photos to make them pop. Paint pens are perfect for scrapbooking spreads because they can write over all of the materials and they stand out a bit more. I do have a code for Archer and Olive, so if you want to grab some acrylograph pens or anything from there, feel free to use my code Raksha10. This was more effective in some photos than others, dependent on the colour of the background in the photo. I really like the outline around Baby Ray at a festival that we were at. It really makes her pop out of the background and looks quite cool. With a black fountain pen, I labelled all of the photos. I added hand-drawn borders around the photos themselves so they show up a bit more against the background. I added a few sentimental quotes around the pages as well. At the top I wrote, "Because every picture tells a story." Then in the vintage tag there was a picture of a notepad, and in there I wrote, "A good life is a collection of happy memories." I like this idea of a collection of happy memories because it takes away the expectation of a continuous stream of happy memories, and instead it's about collecting moments slowly over time. Finally, I wrote, "The best thing about memories is making them." Let me know what you think of these pages. They're quite different to the rest of my bullet journal, which is more minimal creative. I do love doing minimal scrapbook pages as well, so let me know if you'd want to see a video showing what a minimal scrapbook spread would look like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.